Please join me in welcoming Jason Wong. Perfectly wrong. Perfectly wrong. Jason Wong.
Thank you, Contest Chair. I have a confession. I am a perfectionist. And my name is Jason Wong. That's W-O-N-G, Wong. Ironic, isn't it? Why can't it be Jason right? Can't blame myself. Can't blame my parents either. Because two Wongs don't make a right. I still remember my wedding day. My beautiful wife told our family and friends she spent her whole life looking for Mr. Right and found herself a Mr. Wong. Thanks, babe. Feel the love? Wife never changed her last name. She's still Miranda Can. That's K-A-N. Can cook, can multitask, can do anything. Why doesn't she take on my name? Miranda can do no Wong. Lucky she can do everything, cause me, can't do much these days. Last 3 years, 3 spinal surgeries. Can't run, can't ride, can't do anything. I should change my name to hers. Jason, no can do. I was a marathon runner. A few years ago, I trained, felt a twinge. Wife knew it straight away. She said I've been a pain in the butt for years. The surgeon explained, my spine is like a Kmart bookshelf. It looks great. You put some weight on it, bang, breaks. And there's no refund. God loves me. All my surgeries are around my birthdays. I get more X-rays and MRIs than birthday cards. People celebrate the birthdays, getting dressed up, go to fancy restaurants, or even holidays. Me? I go to St. Vincent Hospital, eat microwave dinner half naked in my surgical gown with my butt hanging out. No birthday cakes. Nurses give me jelly though. Love my hospital jelly. Been to St. Vincent 3 years straight. And they don't even have a loyalty program. My first surgery was in August 23, a herniated disc. Surgeon said, your disc is like a hot jam donut that exploded. Thanks, Doc. You just ruined Krispy Kreme. He told me, Jason, you need a microdiscectomy. A micro what? You sound like a tiny Italian dessert. He said, keyhole. We'll go in, shave a bit of this, and get back out. You sound like a Japanese ninja. Shave my disc? What am I? Parmesan cheese? Anyhow, surgery 1 done. I thought, great. That's behind me now, literally. Less than a year, July 24, twinge bang, bring on surgery 2. It reminds me of my psycho ex-girlfriend who wouldn't leave me alone. Surprise! Happy birthday, Jason! Remember me? Same disc, same surgeon. He said, again? You are telling me, Doc, I'm the sucker paying off your beach house. He said, we'll just have to go back in, shave a bit more off, but this time, we'll cut a new hole from the side. I was like, you had a perfectly good hole. Why do you need a new hole? What is this? Joining the dots? Anyhow, surgery 2 done. At least the jelly was good. Another year last year, surgery number 3. This time, not the lower back. Oh no, that would be too predictable. The psycho ex-girlfriend brought her bestie along. And she's a pain in the neck. This time, the damn neck. New pain, new surgeon. He said, Jason, you need an ACDF. An ACD, what? You sure it's not ACDC? Highway to hell! But it feels like it. He said, no. We cut the front of your neck, take the entire disc out, and screw your bones together with titanium screws. I was like, screws? Where from? Bunnings? Must be a special order. Now I have titanium in my neck. I pick up my phone, I get full Wi-Fi signal. I'm a cyborg, like Terminator. There you have it. 3 birthdays, 3 surgeries, and 1 spine, for now. As the Terminator would say, I'll be back. Hopefully, not back to St. Vincent, but back to a full life. This year, no more surgeries, no more drugs, no more jelly, no more parties with nurses. Maybe just give me the jelly and nurses. Together. What I've learned from this experience and from doing Toastmasters is that life will never be perfect. Not your speech, not your body, and certainly not your spine. It's okay. It's about showing up every day. Remember, 2 wrongs may not make a right. And sometimes you're in a jam and life crumbles like a bookshelf. Sometimes life breaks you like parmesan. And people want to screw you, usually surgeons who shop at Bunnings. And you may feel like you're on a highway to hell. Just keep going. And when someone wants to write you off, remember the immortal words of Arnie. I'll be back. Because at the end, it's not about being perfect. It's about being perfectly wrong.
Please join me in welcoming Miriam Beswick, The Evolution of Condescension. The Evolution of Condescension, Miriam Beswick.
Very good. Last year, I was in a meeting where, basically we were interrogating a gentleman when my colleague leaned across the table, looked him in the eye and said, I don't want to sound matronising, but... Now, I have no idea what she said after that. Her sentence just dissolved into a linguistic fog. My mind completely spun out, not on the meeting, not on that gentleman, but on the burning question I know is in your minds right now. Is matronise a word? Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and colleagues, patrons and matrons, and everyone who doesn't want to be any of those. I don't know if you've come across this term before, but it really took me a long time to get my head around it. Was it a slip of the tongue? A quirky neologism? The start of a new gender-specific lexicon? For the haughty? Well, I did what every curious professional do. I talked to friends, family and colleagues, and I Googled furiously to discover that, yes, matronise is an up-and-coming term for a woman acting in a condescending manner. Well, I thought, why not just call her stuck-up? Now, the irony is that the person who introduced me to this term is a member of an advocative organisation, and one of the things they advocate for is gender identity and gender understanding. So on the one hand, I can understand that she doesn't want to be called patronising because she's assuming that that is misgendering. But on the other hand, isn't just changing the word encouraging gendered terms? And when was the last time you thought of patronising as a masculine word anyway? A patron of the arts doesn't suddenly become a matron of the arts unless you're serving tea and scones and frowning at you for not using your coaster. Patrimony and matrimony are different words. You can't interchange them. I don't think you'd understand if I said I was an ex-mat or a matriot of Tasmania. And we're all patrons every time we spend money. We wouldn't be caught dead calling someone a patroness unless we wanted to be accused of writing the next Jane Austen novel. So I just struggle to understand why we need to gender condescension. Surely superiority complexes are an equal opportunity phenomenon. Now, As someone who's watched a lot of international love dramas and stories on Netflix, I have to say I have observed some interesting cultural contrast. In China, words for he and she are just not generally used. People are referred to in the non-gendered pronoun. Of course, in France, as everyone knows, everything has a gender, whether it's your table or your lamppost or your scenery. These two cultures look at gender identity in vastly different ways, but I don't think we'd call either of them the panacea for gender equality. But of course, language does evolve. When was the last time you heard the word patronising? Most people say mansplaining. Maybe matronise is the natural progression of the language. Maybe we're about to get a whole cinematic universe of gendered splaining, the trilogy box set on Netflix that nobody asked for, but everybody will watch. So you can see the whole scenario just really had me in a tears. We don't want to be matronising and we don't want to be patronising, so we don't want to be patriarchies and we don't want matriarchies either. That's it. This is where the idea of a patriarchy was born. Well, what is a patriarchy, I hear you say? Well, unlike the patriarchy and the matriarchy, which are very focused on who's in charge, the patriarchy takes a different approach. It says, let's stop caring about differences entirely. Let's build a society where everyone is treated equally, without footnotes or caveats or hyphenated labels. In a patriarchy, you don't get patronised or matronised, you get neutronised. And that's when someone talks down to you with perfect equality. No assumptions about your gender or their own, just a smug air. I know better. I'm enlightened. So a patriarchy is not about celebrating diversity. It's about ignoring it. Politely. Like an embarrassing relative at your Christmas dinner. Think about it this way. In a patriarchy, you might get patronised, and that's when a man talks down to you with a little extra bass in his voice, because lower octaves add credibility. In a matriarchy, you get matronised, and that's when a feminist explains something to you very carefully, because you're a child, not yet safe with scissors. But a neutronised is when someone talks down to you with no gender assumptions at all. They're not patronising you as a man, they're not matronising you as a woman, they're not even auntie-ronising you as your overbearing relative. They are just universally, neutrally and inclusively condescending. Equality at last! Everyone is equally dismissed. And this is the true genius of the patriarchy. It doesn't ask who's in charge, but instead, can we all agree that we are all equally irritating to one another? Because in a patriarchy, we'd all be treated with equal superciliousness. No mansplaining, no womansplaining, just ex-splaining. And honestly, isn't that what equality is all about? Contest master.
Please join me in welcoming Simon Iyer. Come with me around the corner, take a peek. Come with me around the corner, take a peek. Simon Iyer.
Thank you. It is no mystery that life is full of twists and turns, with unexpected outcomes around many corners. Contest chair fellow Toastmasters, I think life is more like a GPS with mischief built in. I was talking to my life the other day, aka me. Yes, I realize, setting in early. I said, hey GPS, it said, yes, handsome. Take me to Somewhere over the rainbow, where the skies are always blue, and that's lotto dreams do come true. Calculating now. You are on the fastest route, despite being an idiot, and will arrive at your destination in 1,999,999 years. An unexpected answer. I bought this watch to keep track of my fitness and stress levels. I am more stressed now because this watch keeps telling me I am more stressed now. But around many other corners, there can be magical outcomes. Which one will it be? You will never know until you go around the corner and take a peek. To illustrate, let me invite you to step into my shoes on this rather monumental evening. I was the leader of a large American company, and on this evening I was to be the MC of our grand 50th anniversary celebrations. Guests were flying in all the way from the USA. As the evening approached, I prepared hard, practiced my tongue twisters, I wrote my jokes, I power posed in front of the mirror with such true raw intensity, my reflection started to quiver. My dog gave out a wolf howl and I said, "Who's your daddy now, boy?" And then it was showtime. Imagine this. The lights are bright. The air is thick with anticipation. And here I am standing in front of 500 people for the first time in my life. Some are looking at me with hope. Some with expectation. Most are looking for the open bar. And so was I. What could go wrong there? I thought, don't worry about it. Go around the corner. Take a peek. Now, my knees were knocking. My palms were sweating. My palms were sweating so much I was afraid I'd short-circuit the microphone. The spotlights looked less like vegans and more like interrogation lamps. In a prison in Siberia, I haven't even been to Siberia. I had images of Ivan walking into my prison cell and asking me, "Who's your daddy now, boy?" As a leader, I was meant to sound confident, authoritative, full of company spirit, which I was from the open bar. The plan was to use a vocal variety to regale the audience with tales of the company's past, make a heartfelt tribute. Now, at times like these, I'd rather imagine myself to sound like Morgan Freeman. But when I opened my mouth, out came a sound that sounded more like a squirrel stuck on the top of a tree. Don't worry about it. Go around the corner. Take a peek. The crowd felt my nerves. Energy is contagious, and I was spreading nervousness like free Wi-Fi at McDonald's. Instead of sticking to my script, my mind was away on a magical tour of Narnia, looking for the lion, the witch, and whatever it is behind the wardrobe, maybe the talking beaver. And then I see my friend Gina. Good old Gina. She's making a cutthroat sign. I think she's trying to tell me to kill it. Stop it. Can't take this anymore. Either that or she's joining Reagan in a breakdance competition. Don't worry about it. Go around the corner. Take a peek. But here is an unexpected outcome. Every time I stumbled and bumbled my way through the event, the crowd responded with cheers and encouragement. I think they genuinely enjoyed watching me trying to steer the ship, but the ship was called the Titanic. I thought I was the king of the world. The crowd said no. Somehow, I get through the event. In the end, Gina, good old Gina, comes up to me and says, "Hey, Simon, I saw you took some company spirits to calm your nerves. Next time, try Toastmasters instead. To conclude, here I am, ladies and gentlemen, standing in front of you, looking all handsome, working on my technique, one speech at a time, an unexpected outcome of a schmozzle. But there is a fantastic, stupendous, and a magical outcome too. It is that I have met all of you. So I ask you, ladies and gents, what will you find when you go around your corners? When you look at your inner compass, you will never know until you take a peek. Thank you, contest.
Please join me in welcoming Darrell Klar, Physics Never Fail. Physics Never Fail, Darrell Klar.
Is audio good? Thank you. It was a beautiful day. Birds were singing, sun was shining, and I was just enjoying the moment. When all of a sudden, whack! Right in the middle of my forehead, a piece of chalk. Mr. Stoystavlovich, my physics teacher, could hit a student's forehead at 200 metres, not an issue. Now, Mr. Stoystavlovich, Hungarian by name, hungry by nature, because he could eat a student in no time flat, was as passionate about physics as he was about his accuracy. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, your interest in physics, or if you remember that class in school where it was like, what am I doing here? Has anybody ever said that to themselves? I loved physics, but it was one of those things that there were topics that just didn't make sense. And quite often students would say, Mr. Stoystavlovich, why are we doing this? And he said, it's because physics never fails. And we just had to accept it. Now, I left school, got married, had a family. My daughter, she was about 6 years old, bright, sunshiny day. We decided to go for a picnic out to the park. If you've been to Adelaide, there's a park that has, it's Rymel Park, big, right in the middle of the city, and huge grassed area. And we're sitting down having a really nice picnic. And my daughter goes, Dad, let's have a race. And I was a bit younger and a little bit fitter. And I said, well, this could be a good learning opportunity. I mean, she's 6, she's pretty fast, but there's no way she'd beat me. Wait. And so I said, sure, hun. And the next 2 words out of her mouth scared me. My rules. She said, we're going to have a race down the hill. And I thought, okay, well, I'm a fairly big lad, gravity will help. And she said, rolling down the hill. So we trudged to the top of the hill, this huge grassy knoll. And as I reached the top, I realised how many hundreds of other families were there on that day. Enjoying a picnic, watching their kids frolic in the sun. And she said, okay, Dad, we start at the top, first one to the bottom rolling wins. And I thought about it and I went, okay, well, I'm bigger, I don't have to do as many rolls. Physics kicked in. And so she positioned herself, I positioned myself, we laid down, I covered my eyes. She said, "You ready, Dad?" I said, "Yes." 3, 2, 1, go. And so with my eyes covered, I rolled as fast as I could. Now, if we're talking physics, we're talking angular momentum, we're talking motion, we're talking acceleration. I forgot about geometry. If you look at me, if I'm laying down, my feet are together, and I come up and get a little wider. And when I amplify that by putting my hands over my eyes, I become essentially a cone. As I threw myself down this hill, there were 2 things that happened. One was, I just went as fast as I could. The second was, I heard my wife laughing. And then I heard her say, "Stop, Darrell." And I went, surely I've got to be near the bottom. What's happened? Has my daughter run into somebody? What's going on? And so I stopped and I looked up, and essentially what had happened was I'd started rolling down the hill and then started rolling back up the hill. And because I was going so fast and I was dizzy, I had no idea. Now, for the physicists in the room, we know the formula. That, now I've forgotten the formula. Something equals displacement over time. Whatever the V is. What's V? Velocity. See, I knew there were some physicists in the room. Velocity equals displacement over time. Now, because as I came down, I started coming back up, it wasn't distance over time. I would have won that easily. The amount I travelled was insane. But I essentially ended up back where I started. My displacement was nearing 0. Physics never fails. I thought, okay, there was one last time a couple of years later. It wasn't as nice a day. It was a bit wet and there was mud everywhere. And my daughter wanted another race and she said, "My rules." I went, okay, I'm ready for it. Let's do it. I know how to keep my legs apart. And she said, "Slippery dip race." And I thought, okay, it's been raining. I'm a large mass. I can do this. So there were 2 slippery dips next to each other. Now, they weren't the straight slippery dips. They were the ones that had the bit of a hump in it. Wait for it. I got to the top, started coming down, hit the first hump, dodged a Boeing 747 from Perth to Sydney, came down twice as fast as what I left, and created a 40-foot muddy furrow further past the slippery dip. Physics never fails.
Please join me in welcoming Charles Halloran, The Solution. The Solution, Charles Halloran.
Thank you, Contest Chair. I recently caught up with a friend of mine I hadn't seen for ages. And after a while, he stopped and stared. No, really stared. He said, "You've changed. Who are you? Last time I saw you, you were stress-eating donuts over a heavily laced coffee that needed its own liquor permit. What's happened? You're cool, you're calm, you're collected." And then he asked me questions like he was a quiz show host. Was it a book? Was it a course? Got a new philosophy? Did you join a cult? Is it Toastmasters? Are there pathways and levels? You've got to tell me. I'm the manager in my workplace. It's the zoo. I've got people yelling and screaming. I've got the unions giving me a hard time. Last week I literally had to duck when someone threw a toaster. Well, I was that cooked I couldn't tell it was a stapler. You've got to help me. I looked at my friend and thought, he's been a bit melodramatic really, isn't he? And I said, I found something hidden in plain sight. Something so magical, so powerful, so influential. No, it's not alcohol. And yes, it's perfectly legal. Tell me, he says. I have it here in my hand. Just drink it. Behold the minty. Go on, ask me why. Why? Well, anyone who comes into my office, I offer them a minty. But I don't let go. Back and forth, to and fro, a bit like a tennis game, only stickier. And then I do let go after some awkward moments. Go on, ask me why. Why? They say thank you. They've remembered their manners. Behaviour training, one minty at a time. HR should put me on the payroll. But you'd be surprised how calm my office is, even when the union organisers and shop stewards walk in. My friend looks at me as if I've got 3 heads. You see, they come into my office, and you need to ask me why, really. Why do they come in? How do I come in? Why? Well, I offer them a minty. They put it in their mouth. Who can yell and scream without risking launching a white sugary projectile? Industrial relations with a hint of minty freshness. In fact, I had a phone call from the Fair Work Commission asking if I could run a workshop. My friend tells me he's been so stressed, he's been going to therapy, it's cost him a fortune and nothing has worked. Have you tried a minty? Go on, ask me why. Why? Well, by the time you unwrap it slowly, put it in your mouth, roll it around, sense its shape, feel its texture, enjoy its flavour. It's a form of meditation. And then you look at the silly drawing on the wrapper and realise your life isn't so bad after all. Even if the dog did eat your report, or your wife used it to line the kitty litter tray again. But minties will do more. They will help you with your listening skills. Go on, ask me why. Why? Well, whenever someone comes into my office to vent, I listen, I nod, and I make all those listening sounds, you know, the mms and the ahs and the oohs. They feel they're being heard. They feel they're being understood. They think I'm being deeply empathetic. But what I've secretly done is put a minty in my mouth and I'm trying to get the sticky remnants off my teeth. And they'll help you with weight loss. Go on, ask me why. Why? Well, about a month before Christmas, I put one in my mouth and I broke my tooth. Couldn't eat for 2 weeks. Lost 5 kilos, my pants fit, my belt fit. Genius, eh? Hey, maybe I should become one of those wellness coaches. What do you reckon? Now, you know I'm going to win the speech competition. Go on, ask me why. Why? Well, I've given all my competitors here a minty. Half of them are run off to get an emergency dental appointment. Yeah, good luck with that and Glen Waverley this hour of the night. And the other half have their jaws superglued minty style together and I can't pronounce their consonants. So you see, I have found the most magical, influential, life-changing substance that's not alcohol, and yes, it's perfectly legal. It's affordable and deliciously dangerous. It's the solution to your problems and mine. Go on, ask me why. Well, the red light is on and I need to stop talking. So I'm going to put one in my mouth and say, it's moments like these, the solution is minties. Contest chair.
Please join me in welcoming Greg Dimney, We Survive Humans. Greg Dimney, We Survive Humans.
Thank you, Contest Chair. I hate cockroaches. Let me see your hands. Who here hates cockroaches as well? Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They are disgusting. It spreads disease. It has big, bulgy eyes, wings that flutter, long antennae, and they run zigzag, stop. And when I get in close, it looks like it's staring at me, taunting me. Ah! Oh, get it off! Get it off me! Ah! It was 3 a.m. when I killed that cockroach. I couldn't sleep because a voice in my head kept annoying me. So I did what I always do. Ordered pizza. Salami, anchovies, extra large. I started salivating. The voice in my head said, Greg, honestly? Pizza at 3 a.m. again? Do you know why you hate cockroaches? You hate cockroaches because you fear them. You're frightened of them. Frightened enough to kill them. But why do I want to kill them? You want to kill them because you don't know how to relate to them. You've got a point. Let's see. If I could relate to the cockroach, then I wouldn't hate them anymore. I quickly researched. Humans have been here on Earth for 2 million years. Cockroaches, 350 million years. Man, to survive this long, they must have been super organized. That's it. Ding dong, pizza's here. I grabbed the pizza, flopped into the couch, and started shoving it in. Yum, 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 yum. The room went quiet. Things got heavy. The voice in my head whispered, Greg, come with me. My skin was tight. And as I slipped out my skin, I am no longer me. I am a great big cockroach. Thump, thump, thump. Standing in this massive stadium, surrounded by thousands and thousands of intern cockroaches, including these ones right here. Interns from all around the world, welcome to the District 73 Interns Annual Conference. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Colin Cocky Roach. Before we begin, let us pay homage to our fallen brother, Harry Roach. Now, Harry ignored our purpose, paid the price. Our purpose is, we survive humans. Now, let's do this together. Interns, what is our purpose? We survive humans. Again.
We survive humans.
One more time.
We survive humans.
But how? How do we survive? We multiply. That's right. We multiply like never before. The interns chanted, multiply, multiply, multiply. But what happens when the humans fight for survival, destroys Earth? What happens to us, huh? There's this one human. He's sending humans to Mars. His name, Elon Musk. Where humans go, we go. Interns, where are we going? Mars, 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 Mars. I snap back to reality. I don't hate cockroaches anymore. The cockroach didn't change, but I did. Friends, if you choose to relate to what you hate, fear will lose its power over you. And when that happens, you can do anything. Talk to insects, be president, even live on Mars. When I see a cockroach, I imagine Cocky Roach and his fearless interns taking off to Mars. I hear him calling, interns, what is our purpose? We survive humans. Again, we survive humans. Thank you. Contest chair.
I'm happy to say that there were no time disqualifications. Yay! And I have Janine 1 here to present the third place. Now, third place, can we have a drum roll, please? That's a drum roll? I want a decent drum roll. Thank you. Please congratulate in third place, Jason Wong. More drum rolls, please. Thank you. So we're now going to second place. Come on. Please congratulate Darrell Klar. So now we come to first place. You know the drill, a real decent. Woo! In first place for the Humorous contest this year, Dimney.